Hello and welcome back to Wake Up Cricket powered by Pavilion Picks. This is Praatibh. I've also got Megha alongside me. And there's so many news pieces to get into. But before that, hit that subscribe button. Get us to 400 subscribers. Like the stream, share it with your friends, and let's get right into it. Damn, we have not gotten that intro.
Well, Praatibh, that was because the production team wanted people to have a look at that poker face expression of yours, which they now have had. So we dive right into it, starting with Kevin Pietersen. Now, Kevin Pietersen has stepped down as the mentor of Delhi Capitals ahead of IPL 2026. Ahead of the commencement of the 19th edition of the Indian Premier League, Delhi Capitals suffered a major blow as the team's mentor, Kevin Pietersen, parted ways with the franchise. The former English player took to his X handle to inform the news and also reveal the reason behind his decision. Peterson's exit came just 2 weeks ahead of the new IPL season, leaving Indian cricket fans curious about the timing behind his sudden decision. Taking to his X handle, Peterson revealed the real reason behind his decision and wrote in Hindi, the English translation of which read, I cannot be a mentor for Delhi Capitals in this IPL season. I cannot commit to the time that the job requires. Best wishes to all the players for this season. However, I'll see you back in the commentary box. IPL is the world's best league, and I can't wait to see you all very soon.
Okay, so this is an interesting one, right? It's going to be that period of time where throughout the next couple of weeks, you are going to see these IPL news pieces trickling in where certain players are coming into certain squads. You have certain coaches who might not be there. In this case, Kevin Peterson is no longer going to be in his mentorship capacity with the Delhi Capitals. Now, there's been a lot of memes that have been going around on that. Even last season, I think they had this. Social media clip go out where Kevin Peterson had initially criticized KL Rahul, and then KL Rahul was being mentored by Kevin Peterson. So it comes around beautifully. And it was also something that the players like to have Kevin Peterson around, right? For example, Ashutosh Sharma last season really seemed to come of age, striking at 160 with an average of 30. In fact, he formed such a good rapport with Kevin Peterson that every time he scored runs or every time he finished off a match, he would point in the dugout to Kevin Peterson itself. Even Abhishek Porel, for that matter, still a youngster, still a budding cricketer, is a wicketkeeper bat, was given that extra responsibility and also credited Kevin Peterson for being able to do well in those situations, right? And of course, even with KL Rahul last season, I have his numbers right here, averaging 53 at a strike rate of 150. So someone who we've known can take a bit of time. There was more intent last time around from KL Rahul as well. And a lot of the Delhi Capitals batters attribute that to Kevin Peterson. However, jokingly, they do sort of poke him by asking him what is his actual role, because he was in vacation the last time around for a couple of weeks. And so that's, I mean, it's just the beauty of the sport. In fact, I think Kevin Peterson last season had also put up some kind of challenge for the players that if they make it past the playoffs, then he will be treating some of them. And some really heartening stories here are also because of the fact that Ashutosh Sharma and him had such a really good bond. He had also invited Ashutosh Sharma back in UK to play for a couple of clubs where Ashutosh Sharma got his much needed practice. So I think it's going to be a bit of a blow for the Delhi Capitals. Of course, there's still world class coaches around. So I don't think it's going to affect things too much, especially because the players now have a decent idea of what to do and the batting coach still remains the same. But nevertheless, KP is someone who is world class, and so you will miss out on him. But I'm sure you'll still catch him on YouTube on the Switch.
Generally, this mentor role is for a high profile individual to be associated with the team whose very words spur people into action. Now, when you mentioned that you have KL's number, I thought you're referring to his phone number, and you just found that, I played for Karnataka and I have everybody's phone number, including Rahul Dravid. Moving on. This could be Dhoni's last IPL season, says Irfan Pathan. As the 2026 IPL approaches, once again, the talk surrounding Dhoni's retirement has gathered pace. The speculation intensified after CSK traded Sanju Samson from Rajasthan Royals, a move that many felt would allow the veteran to further minimize his on field involvement this season while continuing to mentor the side. CSK is incomplete without MS Dhoni. This season might be the last time we see him in the yellow jersey, and it's tough to imagine CSK and IPL without him, Irfan Pathan said on Jio Hotstar's game plan. As soon as the IPL comes around, we start seeing Mahendra Singh Dhoni again, which means he's fully prepared for it and he's looking very fit as well, he added. The 44-year-old has already joined the CSK camp in Chennai earlier this month and has been training alongside the squad led by captain Rituraj Gaikwad. Pathan said Dhoni's role could increasingly revolve around guiding the group and helping the next generation of leaders develop within the side. This season, Dhoni will play an important role in bringing together everyone. I'm not sure how many games he'll play, but his presence in the dressing room will help a lot. Sanju will benefit because he'll be a part of the leadership group as well. Rituraj Gaikwad is the leader, but as a group, two or three guys are being groomed for the future. That is where MS Dhoni comes in grooming, not being groomed. I hope he makes a difference. Questions about his fitness, batting position, and whether he'll play all games will still come up. The CSK team management will take it step by step. They will definitely look to give him a perfect farewell by lifting the sixth IPL trophy.
All right, so here's the thing, right? Ashwin and I were sitting and talking about the CSK lineup, and this time around, because of the fact that they have Sanju Samson, Rituraj Gaikwad's also fit, and even sometimes someone like Urvil Patel last season showed glimpses of what he can do. And these, so in Sanju Samson and Urvil Patel, you already have wicket keeping options, but even outside of that, I'm forgetting the name, but there is another Indian domestic player that has been picked who can also keep wickets. And so essentially, then you start to wonder what is the role of MS Dhoni in the squad at the age of 44. He didn't do himself any services last time around when he kept pushing himself lower down the batting order. So even in a situation where CSK could have possibly won games, Dhoni just kept delaying his entry points and would come in as late as even number 9, and that's not something that you want. Of course, I've lost my timer, but I'm just going to keep rambling on about CSK. And so it becomes important to kind of understand where you want to start grooming the players, right? At some point, MS Dhoni is going to have to move on from his playing role, and maybe they could look at him as an impact player if at all he still has the desire to come out and play continuously. That's something they can possibly experiment with. But overall, now, because of the kind of squad that CSK is assembled, because of the fact that they've broken the old man tag, so to speak, there's a lot of youngsters this time around, and there's some good Indian experience in Gaikwad as well as Samson and Dubey as well. So keeping all of that in mind, I think this season we might finally see, I think Irfan Pathan rightly saying that this could be the last season for MS Dhoni, and he might still play a few games, he might still turn up for those matches. But I think the moment CSK sort of picks up and maybe we start seeing them win, I think Dhoni will be more than happy to step back and get into a bit of a mentorship role. But Megha, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is the season where Dhoni finally calls it quits?
Isn't this something that we've been discussing for the past at least 5 years? There's been phases in between when he has really uh, shown glimpses of his old self. There
Yeah.
were a couple of seasons in between, apparently 2023,
Hmm.
2024, where he came up with those cameos and absolutely impactful cameos. 24 season in particular. The buzzer, here the buzzer goes. But yeah, we've been having this conversation, and at least towards the end of the last season is when they started shrugging off that tag, more so
Hmm.
because they struggled last season and they brought in injury replacements in Urvil
True.
Patel and Ayush Mahatre. So
Ash
it's
Matre as well.
interesting. Exactly right. So it would be interesting to see whether Dhoni continues or not, and that is something that really adds another talking point to the tournament. Moving on to the next topic, which is Samson. India being in must-win territory fired me up. Sanju Samson said that being dropped from India's 11 after the bilateral series at home against New Zealand left him absolutely broken, and that he was not comfortable competing with his teammates for a spot in the team. Samson had scores of 10, 6, 0, 24, 6 in the series before the men's T20 World Cup 2026. I'm the type of person who does much better for others than doing things better for myself, Samson said at the India Today conclave in New Delhi. In that series against New Zealand, I was competing with my own people and I was not very comfortable with it. I was too desperate knowing that my dream is so near, but was the team still trying some combinations? So is Sanju there or not there? That kind of feeling played in my mind at that time. Samson was left out of the 11 that started the T20 World Cup with Ishan Kishan picked to open with Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek's illness gave Samson an opportunity against Namibia, but he was left out once again once the former returned. I was absolutely broken because my dream was to win the World Cup and I was not even in the 11. I had gone away for 5 6 days and I started rebuilding myself, started preparing myself, knowing you never know what the game wants to give back to you.
Now, I know that the World Cup has been gone for a couple of weeks now, right? We've won the World Cup, we've spoken about it, we've covered all of these segments, but this was just a little bit of a guilty pleasure from my end because, uh, I mean, it really puts into perspective what Sanju Samson went through. And it's the case for a lot of players before they make it big, right? You'll see so many players who for 10 years would be struggling in domestic cricket or are on in and out of the team in international cricket. And finally, like, things start to click for them. And I think there's a really good point that Sanju raises here about being way too desperate. It's something that we've seen even the greatest batters or the greatest bowlers of the game do. Someone like Virat Kohli chasing the ball outside off stump way too much, being very desperate to score runs, and that eventually led to his downfall in the BGT. And even if you think back to, say, Sachin Tendulkar in the innings where he scored 240 odd, before that, in the lead up, he was very desperate to score runs once again and would open up the offside. And then he decided that he just needs to play within himself, because he knows that at the end of the day, he's good enough. This is something that we've seen as a hallmark of some of the greatest players, where they've realized that, okay, maybe sometimes they're just chasing too hard. And this is true for everything across different aspects. And I think for Sanju Samson, it's also just come around so beautifully, because he had this entire low, then he's got this World Cup high, and now he's going to have the IPL. He's going to have all of the fan following and the cult like fan following of Chennai Super Kings right on him. He has MS Dhoni with him, so he's going to benefit greatly. And we might be seeing possibly the best part of Sanju Samson's career, be it international, be it IPL, domestic, whatever it is. I think these next 2 3 years for Sanju Samson are going to be absolute peak, and I would hope that as an Indian fan as well. But especially this time around in IPL colors, it will be interesting to see what he can do. And yeah, that's mostly it for this news.
So we move on to the next news because you almost covered everything that you could about the previous one. So
Yeah.
MCA launches women's edition of the T20 Mumbai League. The Mumbai Cricket Association (MCA) has launched the women's edition of the T20 Mumbai League, their franchise-based tournament. The men's league is 3 seasons old, and its latest edition was played in June 2025, soon after the IPL. Mumbai man Rohit Sharma, the face of the league, unveiled the trophies for the upcoming men's and women's editions in Mumbai on Saturday. While the men's league features 8 teams, the women's edition will start with 3 teams. It is expected that the matches will be played simultaneously soon after the IPL ends. I'm very happy with how Mumbai cricket is shaping up, not just in the IPL team, but also with what the T20 Mumbai League has done for so many young cricketers, Rohit said. We saw so many cricketers who played in the T20 Mumbai now go on to play for the IPL teams and the national team as well. It is a big platform. I'm happy that we are going through this again after a very successful last season. I was involved last season. I saw it was a very tough task. I have to give credit to each and every member of the MCA for pulling it through. This year, there are 3 women's team as well, so it is getting bigger.
All right. So I'm almost surprised that the Mumbai Cricket Association did not have this earlier, considering that there is already a Maharashtra Women's T20 League, and many states are now doing it. Of course, with Karnataka, you also have the Maharani Trophy that's already there. And so I'm like, when I first read this news, I was a little surprised that it's taken this long, but finally it's here. And that's something that's really good, because even if you think back to the most recent WPL, and if you look at the RCB lineup, along with Smriti Mandana, there was another player from Maharashtra in that lineup, and that was Gautami Naik. And now the only reason that Gautami Naik was able to get this chance to come and play for RCB was simply because of the fact that there was a Maharashtra T20 Premier League. And there it was Smriti Mandana who was who was the captain for the team where Gautami Naik was a part of, and she batted extremely well. And that's how she got her position into that RCB squad, right? Of course, because of the emergence of these T20 leagues in various states, you have talent getting more opportunity to express themselves, but also to be able to rub their shoulders with international cricketers. And that easily helps with being able to scout such players, which otherwise in a system might be a little tougher when you don't have that much visibility. So all things said and done, I think this is a really good initiative from Mumbai Cricket Association. I'm almost disappointed that it didn't come about sooner, but never better late than never. Because even with the WPL, that was the conversation, right? Because the WBBL was around for such a long time, but the WPL sort of took its own sweet time to finally get to where it is. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. I'm happy that it's around, and that should be it for this news.
Talking about visibility, I'm getting more visibility than due to me being in full frame. Moving on, Rahul Dravid, Mithali Raj, and Roger Binney to get BCCI Lifetime Achievement Awards. Rahul Dravid and Roger Binney became the recipients of the BCCI's Colonel C.K. Naidu Lifetime Achievement Award at the awards ceremony in Delhi, held on March 15 for their outstanding service to Indian cricket, while Mithali Raj received the corresponding award for women for her extraordinary contribution to the growth and global stature of women's cricket in India. At the same ceremony, Shubman Gill received the Paulie Umrikar Award for Best International Cricketer Men for the 24-25 season for the second time, and Smriti Mandhana received the Best International Cricketer Women Award for the fifth time in her career. Among domestic performers, Mumbai's Ira Jadhav received the Jagmohan Dalmia Trophy for Best Women Cricketer Junior Domestic, and Haryana Shafali Verma was honoured with the Jagmohan Dalmia Trophy for the Best Women Cricketer Senior Domestic. Ayush Mhatre of Mumbai received the Lala Amarnath Award for the Best All-Rounder in Domestic Limited Overs competitions, while Vidarbha's Harsh Dubey received the Lala Amarnath Award for the Best All-Rounder in the Ranji Trophy for the 24-25 season. The Mumbai Cricket Association once again received the award for the best performance in the BCCI domestic tournaments, having won four trophies and finishing runners up in two during the season.
All right, so we can possibly go player by player in this, right? With Rahul Dravid and Roger Benny, both greats of Karnataka cricket. So there's already a liking that we have towards them. But even outside of that, their contributions have been immense. Rahul Dravid, there's no doubt, has been one of the greatest test batters that India's produced. But even beyond that, more recently, he did coach the Indian team, did win the T20 World Cup. So and of course, he's also worked so much with the under 19s in the NCA and everything. So all things considered, it makes sense for him to be getting this award. I'm almost surprised that he hasn't gotten this sooner, but now seems like the apt time for him to finally get this award. So congratulations, Rahul Dravid, if you're watching someday. But along with that, Roger Binny as well. Of course, he's a World Cup winner, but outside of that, he's always been a part of the administrations for the longest time that I can recall. I do remember seeing Roger Binny around. So once again, it makes sense for him to get this award. Now, with Shubman Gill, I know a lot of people are going to have their fair share of questions, and that could be purely due to the recency bias of the fact that he hasn't performed well off late in ODIs to some extent and also T20s. But let's not forget the blockbuster season that he had in Test cricket, right? He scored heaps and heaps of runs, getting those four centuries in England, being a new Test captain for India and guiding them to that 2-2 draw. It feels like it was forever ago, but it was just about 7-8 months ago. So, keeping that in mind, I think it makes sense for Shubman Gill to get this award. Also, the case with Mithali Raj, she's been an active contributor in the cricket system. She still even works with the Hyderabad Cricket Association, is scouting so many youngsters who are coming through the ranks. Sri Charan, in fact, is a story and was scouted also by Mithali Raj. So it makes sense also for her to, not only from all of the contributions she's made, but even now within broadcast, within the scouting system, and everywhere that she contributes, she had to get that award at some point. And with the rest, you know what it is. Smriti Mandana, Shefali Verma, all have been top performers. Shefali Verma doing extremely well in domestic cricket and then coming back. I know the buzzer's gone off, but we got to give the players credit on this. And Smriti Mandana as well. Internationally, she's had an incredible season. So, all things said and done, these awards are well deserved.
And congratulations to all the award winners. Now, Praatibh, you pretend to not be an RCB fan, but why are you taking a
Hmm.
dig at the teams that have not yet won the IPL trophy now that RCB have won one?
Okay, so what do I even say here, right? This meme sort of speaks for itself, where Lucknow Super Giants, Punjab Kings, and it seems Delhi Capitals also have unveiled a new jersey. I know the first two have. I'm not sure about the next one, but what are these jerseys? They look. Firstly, they don't even look like cricket jerseys. Secondly, they're not even well made. And there is so much outrage on social media about these jerseys that are being made. But interestingly, I did come across a very informative thread on the design briefs that these people get. So it was a designer who designs these cricket jerseys, and they were basically talking about the restrictions that they have, where brands, they even go to the extent of not providing a white and black or like a monochrome logo for these people to use on the jerseys. And so there is this constant back and forth between the color of the jersey itself, the color that the team wants, and how the sponsor brand's colors will look on the jersey itself. And outside of that also, they have a lot of just weird guidelines. And that's why, although we have some of the best designers out there, India is obviously known for the kind of art that it does and everything, we still end up seeing such horribly made jerseys because they just have no freedom to be able to make a good jersey. And honestly, it just kind of becomes a coincidence that it's for the teams that are struggling to win an IPL trophy. For the Punjab Kings, it's been forever. Lucknow Super Giants, I mean, it's not just a team problem, that seems to be an upper management problem. That's a topic for a whole separate video if we ever do that. But yeah, I think these jerseys, what are your thoughts? You can leave them down below. But that's possibly it from us today. Uh, Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely hit that like button. Share this video. Subscribe. We've gone past 300, I think. So we've gone past the Sehwag triple century. The next target is Brian Lara's 400. So get us there. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.